What do you like about living here?
There's 3 major league ballparks really within an hour and a half. And it's unbelievable to have that resource.
I love how that is your first answer. Not the gorgeous weather or being on the water or...
Oh, I love the weather. There's no rainouts. It's great, you know.
How often are you here?
Not very, about 81 games a year. That's about it. Come on, I'll show you some green grass.
All right. You have to explain this not walking on the field or crossing the foul line to me.
Just kind of a respect thing right for the game where you got to earn your way to the field, and if you did, you did. If you didn't, you didn't. I got hurt, and so for me, that's a part of the game that you don't get. And it's a message for me to tell players that you have to earn everything you get, and a lot of things have to happen for you to get everything you want. And there could very well be that you have a lot of things in life, but there's things that this game will never give you. And one of them is playing on that surface, you know.
So what's a typical pre-game routine for you entail?
Talk to coaches, players, you know, executives from the visiting team usually, some of the home team. Tell me about that new setup now.
Man, I just worked it throughout the offseason, and it's been, I feel like myself. I feel like how I'm supposed to be. They let me know today I made the opening day roster. So. Yep. Right before BP.
That's great, Kyron. That is awesome.
What stands out from that first meeting with Scott?
Just all the information that they had of what they could do and how they could help. Yeah, I was blown away.
The resources that they have available to them. I'm sure you saw the office, the analytics staff. It's like a 31st baseball team.
Always checking up on you, making sure, hey, do you have everything? Do you have your protein powder? Do you have the pills that you need for the off season for recovery? And just always checking up and making sure that you're ready to attack the season.
Tell me your approach offensively. What do you got?
Well, it's funny. So I've been hitting it off with TA a bunch, since he's been here, and really just understanding that I'm really not going to get beat with the fastball. And just to trust the fact that right center is my best friend.
So what led to you and Scott working together in the first place?
Yeah, so it's kind of a funny story. So back in 2019, I got hurt in spring training. I'm sitting there, I pulled hamstring, rolled my ankle. I'm laid up in bed, and my dad sends me a text and goes, hey, I heard from Scott Boras. He said he's going to be in town the next day or so. If you want to go meet him and just, talk, and we just started hitting it off and talking about baseball, and he told me straight to my face that look, this isn't about my interest at this point. He said this is about you. This is about a young player who's going to come up and be an impact player in the big leagues, and you need to be treated the right way. They didn't have to come in and visit with me and take the time to figure out how I can get back and get back on the field the best way possible. Most places don't do that, and with their experience and their expertise, it's felt like a no-brainer.
How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm ready to rock.
Huh?
Ready to rock.
Ready for that center field play?
Yes, sir.
No diving.
Yeah, I know, right?
I didn't really know if I had what it took to be a Major League Baseball player. And really, one of the first times that I really believed it was when I spoke to Scott.
Really?
And he told me he saw all these things, he's represented all these players, and kind of instilled that belief in me. And then my career kind of took a different trajectory from that point.
It seems like he's 72 going on 12, it seems like, from just the giddiness around the game. Any observations on that front on your end?
He's the type of guy you can call him and talk to him at any point in time about anything, and he gives you that family member feel.
Do you think you could have had the same level of success with a lesser time commitment?
I'm not sure it's about success as much as it is about your personal comfort and feeling. And the more comfortable you are, the more the likelihood of success is greater. And so I tell the people that work for me that you You don't have to do this. It's up to you.
The one thing that Scott challenges everybody to be is excellent, and that's a hard standard in the sense to always feel like you're excellent.
Expectation is probably the hardest thing to deal with in a person, particularly when you have rather, what I'm told, are high expectations about what we want to achieve and what we want to do. And the people obviously closest to you that are largely responsible for a real important role in executing those expectations have to kind of hear the constant grind, if you will, of where we should be that we're not. That, I'm sure, is at times requires great patience.
The standard in which we represent our athletes and our clients is really, and I say this in the most humble way that I can, it's really second to none. And I think from a standpoint of the colleagues and their institutional knowledge that they have in order to serve our clients and represent them the way we do is why they stay. They want to be a part of something that's great.
How does baseball, in your mind, break into the zeitgeist even more? Like, you look at Ohtani as example, who's, you know, as consequential a figure in any sport ever. And you could make the argument the stature of a LeBron or a Patrick Mahomes is greater than Ohtani when his success within his sport relative to them is much greater.
Ohtani has captured a marketplace of, counting Korea and Taiwan, maybe 200, 250 million people. I don't believe, other than in soccer, where you have had a Ronaldo or a Messi or something along that line, that you've ever had a player with an international draw like that. And how do we optimize that? It's kind of new to our sport. I believe that baseball is a sport that has an international flair to it. And the familiarity with it can be broadened by streaming, and that they know that they can see their countrymen without any great difficulty, and we need to provide that landscape for everyone.
What's your view of how the World Series is handled? Because you brought up before the idea of a Super Bowl-esque site.
I wrote a letter to Bud Selig in the early 2000s.
That he was dismissive of.
That he said, we'll talk about this. But I wrote a letter and I said, look, we can have a true World Series week. My analogy was, we're serving one of the greatest steaks in sports in a fast food restaurant. Because you don't know where it is, it's all rushed, nobody knows how to get there, and therefore we don't get national, international attention, we don't get corporate sponsorship. At the All-Star game, we get all this, because we know where it's going to be.
Right.
Go to Super Bowl and you see that 70% of the people there never go to the game.
Yeah.
They're going there because of the sponsorship, because of the entertainment that precedes the Super Bowl, not the Super Bowl itself.
Right.
It's an event. It's a place. I said, if they do that without having games but one day, just think what we could do.